Hey, it's Christine Kane, President and Founder of Uplevel U. Welcome to Instant Uplevel. Hey everyone, today's Instant Uplevel is all about Jessica. Jessica sent in a question to me, and it was under a blog post I wrote called The Unsexy Truth About Success. Because really the deal about success is we think that we're aiming for that moment where it's like victory or the big award or the appearance in the magazine. But real success is about the quiet times when it's your relationship with you, and you get over something that you had an obstacle around or you had a mindset block around. And a lot of times that can seem sort of boring in comparison with those Olympic moments or award moments that we're also used to seeing on the media. And Jessica wrote a comment under that blog, and it was a really great question. In fact, for some of us, this is the question, all right? So Jessica, what she was writing is that she has actually done all this work. She's done the tedious work, and she said it's worked. I've hired people to do my weaknesses. I got a housekeeper. I finally gotten to a point where I'm doing different work and not the late night grueling work. And now it's allowed my husband and I to quit our jobs, support ourselves, and many employees in our business. The only work I know how to value is the unsexy stuff. And lately I'm working on finding myself without these doer type tasks to fuel my fire. It's like having a whole new job, one I always wanted. Any tips for this? How do you finally relax? How do you get into your genius work and schedule and enjoy big picture thinking tasks that aren't driven by daily email notifications? I love this question because it speaks to why we procrastinate and why we actually, with those tedious little tasks, where we are drawn to being reactors in our business. Because what Jessica is saying is, I've got all this space to do genius work now, and yet I still feel like I should be doing all that tedious stuff. And the reason for that is that, in my experience, doing that tedious stuff, the great thing about it is that you get to have a dopamine hit every time you finish it. You get to say, check, all emails answered, inbox 0, and all these things that aren't your genius work, at least you get to say, I did them. The challenge with most of our genius work is that we don't know when it's done because it's creative work. And the very nature of creative work is that we have to release it out there imperfectly. We have to let go of the dopamine rush. We have to be the one to say, it is now done. I remember very clearly when I was getting ready for my Uplevel Your Business Live retreat, and I'm preparing content, and I'm working on all these slides, and I'm doing this creative work, and I walked by the woman who does all of the cleaning in the office area where I have my offices here at Uplevel World Headquarters, and I was watching her, and I was thinking, oh, I was envying. I mean, I was literally seething with envy for her work, because at least she knew when she was done. You know, the place is clean, I'm done, on to the next one. And granted, I know this is like completely, ridiculous, but it's that feeling of, I don't know when I'm done. I don't know if it's good enough, I don't know if they're gonna like it, you have to do it, you have to put it out there, you've got to test it and be willing to fail, which is a really different mindset from check that off the list. And so part of being the entrepreneur, part of being a leader, is that you have to be able to hold that space for genius work that is a little frightening, a little risky. And the best way, I know there's 3 things I want to say about that and how to do that. The first thing is you have to schedule your time out. You have to understand that when you have creative work, it's got to be in the schedule. You've got to sit down and you've got to do it, whether it's focusing on business development, working on a marketing campaign, working on writing your book, whatever it is. You've got to schedule it in advance. Don't wait for that time to just sort of show up and make itself available to you. And the way to hit that dopamine rush is the second point I want to make, which is that because you don't know when you're done, what you can do is actually block the time. So the exciting thing when you check it off comes from the 90 minutes are complete, the 3 hours are complete. You spent the hour. Whatever amount of time it is, You actually check it off by time blocks, not by, oh, I did it, the whole book is written or the whole thing is done. You've got to just get into the fact that you showed up for that period of time that day. And the third thing is, Jessica, you've got to learn to embrace imperfection. Imperfect action is the only action you can take as an entrepreneur. You put it out there, and the gift of what we do is that it's all research and development. Even if it goes out there and it doesn't do as well as you thought, guess what? You get to try again. That's the gift of having a business. It's the gift of being a marketer, is that it's tweaking and testing. And really holding on to imperfect action lets you be more flexible and lets you move and breathe and really tap into that genius work, that creativity, because it's the perfectionist that keeps us locked in and afraid and saying, oh, at least the emails can just tell me what to do with my day instead of me having to be this uncomfortable. But discomfort is why you're great at what you do. Being willing to be uncomfortable is why you start to succeed. And be willing to be imperfect is what brings out the biggest success you could ever imagine. So, I want to hear from you guys, all right? Share with me, because we all need to hear, share with the community what you do in order to get away from all those little tedious procrastination building tasks that we have out there, because they're going to be there no matter what. Or you can also share, what are your favorite tasks that help you procrastinate? What do you do? Like, do you find yourself brushing the sink with a toothbrush and cleaning the sink until it's totally done instead of writing, instead of creating a presentation? What do you do? What ways do you distract yourself? I want to hear, let's have a conversation.